Hello everyone, it's Rentiln here again. I'm on the Blue Cable server alone with 5 deaths to my name. I was doing a little bit of the silent recording, so to speak, while I was building this. I was going to put it all into a time-lapse thing to show you guys what led up to this. And a whole bunch of creepers. Need I say more? But that doesn't matter too much because all this dirt's going to be going away. It's going to be replaced with stone and gravel and cobblestone and mossy cobble and all that fun stuff. But I did lose quite a bit of gear over the creeper explosions. I'd get killed by one, and then another one would walk up to me while I'm waiting for it to allow me to respawn and start sizzling. And I've never noticed that happening before. That sounds a bit loud. Maybe it's just me, but just in case. So, yeah, I'm getting very frustrated over this whole thing because I used up a lot of iron making axes so I can go through this without having to worry too much about it. And now I only have one left out of 6 total, I think. I also made 6 picks. Only have the most damaged one left because of creepers. And I don't even have my sword anymore, again, because of creepers. But before I do too much of ranting anyway, let's go ahead and show you what I've done so far. I'm in the process of moving out of that hole in the wall that I had built. And I have to do this. I know I said I'd show you guys before doing this, but I have to. It's bugging me. I swear I don't have OCD. And place. Here we go. That looks better. I'm going to have to fix that eventually, but not right now. So I went ahead and went way underneath the lake there. It's actually pretty deep. Goes right to these stone bricks right here. Everything else is water level. And make myself a nice little storage area. Did run into some caves along the back of it. At first I was thinking, okay, I'll leave access open. And then after a few skeletons got in, I said, no, I'll close that up as soon as possible. You can hear one now. I'm wondering if there's a spawner that I haven't found yet, because most of what I've found with that area is skeletons. So I'm using the alternating chest trap chest method for the storage here because I don't like a huge expanse for storage. I like it to be compact. That reminds me real quick, I gotta find my... Okay, whew. I put my infinity enchantment book, I don't know if I showed that before, but I put it on that bow and I'm very happy with it. Nothing in the furnaces right now. Now, the whole point of this is to eventually make it so that if there's a block that I'm going to be using a lot of, it's going to get an entire column to itself. And then the blocks associated with it, for example, we got gravel in this top one, cobblestone, cobblestone stairs, cobblestone slabs, and so on and so forth. This is always going to move over eventually when I start making the bricks as well. But the main holdup for me is glowstone, which I better bring a flint and steel with me because 3 times now I've ended up trapped in the nether because of ghasts. And that thought. And there we go. I'd love to put those things away, but I don't have a chest for them yet. And enchanting's going to be 1 floor below this, actually. I was going to put it above, but I decided to change my mind there. And also, I got a little bit of a prank from Zal. And if I ever figure out where he is, I don't watch his videos. No. It's only because he posts so many in a single day that it's annoying. Shh, don't tell him. Yeah. But if I ever find his place, he's going to get something a little bit more creative than this. Right? Anyone who has not played Outpost 2 will not understand this at all. The Blight is a microbe that was meant to turn the planet New Terra very Earth-like. It breaks carbon-oxygen bonds, and it didn't turn out so well. Oh yeah, I lost my bed because a creeper snuck in here while I was trying to sleep away the night. But yeah, going to the Nether real quick. Because I want some more glowstone. It's not a good idea not to bring food, but I brought a flint and steel this time, so I'll be fine. I'm starting work on my own little nether base here. It's going to be it's going to be a full dome. And already I hear ghasts. They keep on spawning in this area because of how open it is. Which is more of a reason to finish up that dome as quickly as possible. But I get out here, I look around, and I'm thinking, I thought Nether Quartz was supposed to be super rare, and it's frickin' all over the place. That's something that confused me for a bit. I'm guessing it's because they were meaning it's harder to find with an older map. But right now I'm just on the hunt for easily accessible glowstone because my pick won't last very long. And there's the ghast I hear. Ah, missed. Come on. There we go. I want to hit him with his own fireball. There we go. Only took forever. Yeah, ever since they changed the arrow trajectory on this game, it's been very difficult for me to hit things. I got very used to it being a very specific way on Project Ares and was pretty much dead-eyeing everything for a while. And it changes and yeah. What is there to talk about? The funny thing is I'll be thinking about what I want to talk about with these videos and have it all planned out in my head. But by the time I get home to record, it's all like, I was thinking of something? Yeah. But that's all part of it. My pick is not going to last long, so I don't want to tunnel up. There we go. There's some glowstone I can access. And of course I didn't... No, I only have enough for a workbench. Oh, I do have bowls with me. I thought for sure I'd regret that. Regret? Oh boy, my tongue does not like me today, does it? So, I'll go ahead and talk about what some of my plans for doing things in the future is. Shit. I'll cut this out so I can go get that. Resuming in 3, 2, 1. Okay, sorry about that. Junk call that they always send. I was starting to tell you what my plans for the future of most of my recording is going to be from now on. I'm thinking that I'm just going to do time-lapsing on all the builds because I already have a hard enough time thinking of how to talk when playing normally. While building, it's going to be near impossible, so hope no one minds. I'll just do a time lapse. I'll talk over it instead of breaking away or doing music over it, because I personally don't like most music that people put on their time lapses, and I'm sure you guys wouldn't like what music I would be allowed to put on, since I don't have a lot of rights. I don't have the rights that a lot of people with actual networks get. I could just make my own stuff, but I'm sure none of you want to hear that. And I'm really hoping I can get a Silk Touch pick soon, because I'm getting a lot of ores that would be nice to Silk Touch, bring back, and then Fortune. Well, I need to get a Fortune pick too, but Fortune when I actually need the supplies. Now, another thing I'm going to be doing, I've mentioned it on Zero Forums, is I'm going to be going through the courses I've built, showing people how the redstone in them works. Because I know that some people were mentioning that they were curious about how that is and want to see if it can help them come up with their own ideas, and I think that's a good idea. You know, a lot of people say that my courses are pretty good. I hope that's true, and hope they're not just kissing up because I'm an op on the server, but if it is true, then I'm very happy, and I've accomplished my goal with that. But I'm not just going to flat out show the redstone. I'm going to go through a little bit beforehand to help people understand it better. I have a long-standing theory that a lot of other people have agreed. They think that it's true too, where the people who get really good with redstone are the people who understand some coding. And to see examples of that, look at Seth Bling, Etho. I know that Seth Bling was a programmer. I can't remember if it was a web programmer or an actual programmer before he got into the YouTube thing. I know that Etho mentioned in some of his videos that he was planning on making his own game at one point, so he has a little bit of coding background himself. Me personally, I'm a self-taught web coder, and and a lot of what I learned in that has helped me understand redstone a lot better, because a lot of the logic is the same concepts. It's just represented differently. I can't believe that actually hit. See, I'm not going to go after that because that's a pretty long fall. And I probably shouldn't be wandering like this while talking, because I have a tendency to get lost in the Nether very easily. And there's a lot of people who probably have the same problem. Oh, come on. That was... Ooh, thank you. More soup. And every time I eat soup, I instantly think of this one episode of the show Cops. They had a guy who was either drunk or highly drugged up or something, cornered in a backyard. And one of the officers approaches him saying, "Sir, you're fine. I'm not going to hurt you. My name is Officer Campbell." "Officer Campbell?" "Yes, Officer Campbell." "You make soup?" I know it's stupid, but it's funny. Okay. Anyway, let's talk a little bit more about this. I have that cobblestone channel was, I think, connecting to some kind of Nether hub, which I hope is the case, because that means I can hook up with everyone else and find things a lot easier. And if I feel like it, getting some form of an economy going with this. But for the most part, in the beginning, I'm just going to be, what's the word? Being self-sufficient with it. Because that's one thing I really like about Minecraft, is that you could choose to do things on your own, you could choose to help people out, you could do whatever the hell you want. There you are. I forgot to account for the movement. And I'm really hoping I don't accidentally hit a zombie pigman during that, because I'd be dead pretty quickly. I only have my boots left. So like I said, with this, I'm going to have it going in a dome, which means I have to get the circles set up. I have to put down these slabs so stuff doesn't spawn inside of it, and then I have to dome it up. And the dome itself is going to be pretty easy, and that's pretty easy to calculate. Okay, here's a second one. So I'm going to get out of here now. And before I continue, I'm going to go ahead and put in the little time lapse I do have of building this up to this point, and then we'll be back and I'll tell you more about what I'm going to be doing with it. Hey guys, I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of overtalk during this because it was very boring on its own. Yeah. So building this was a lot of fun as it was, kind of disappointing when it got destroyed, but I'm really hoping that the overall end project looks nearly as good as I pictured in my head. Like I said, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of work on it, and after this is done playing, you're going to hear more about what those plans are. Talking a little bit more about what I said earlier about replacing all the dirt and grass. If you have ever played Riven, the sequel to Myst, you'll know that in the Moedes Age, everything is very dull and gray, and having all this very dirt color, green of the grass and all that stuff, it really inhibits the look that I'm going for. So I'm going to go ahead and try my best to get that looking as dull and gray as it should look. So let's see, what can I talk about during this? Some things I really want to go more into. Like I said, I am going to be doing all my building as time lapses from now on. Hopefully I'll be able to record some stuff with note blocks or something to add in as audio, because yeah, it didn't want to shrink the actual game audio with the compression of the video itself. I'm drawing a blank on things for some reason. It didn't want to do that, so I'm going to have to find something to add in. I don't want to use someone else's work, because if they decide, oh, I don't want to make this fair use anymore, then that makes the video go down. But if I make something with note blocks myself, I can use it, and it might not sound the best, but hey, at least it's something that's not as boring as silently watching the video. So yeah, a lot of this is... I was actually planning on editing this a little bit first, but that didn't happen. I think I'll just leave it as it was, because, it kind of is fun. I did not expect that to show up. Using the built-in recorder for Camtasia is not very helpful sometimes. Of course, it doesn't help that this is a copy that is so frickin' old that it actually does not like to do some of the things I want it to do. So, since I have run out of things to talk about in relation to Minecraft at the moment, let's talk a little bit about some of the things I want to do. Like I mentioned, or I'm going to mention, it's kind of hard to remember after the fact, I do plan on showing a little bit of a coding tutorial to get people help people understand redstone a little bit better. The idea behind it is coding is a lot of lots of logic-based stuff. You have to go through and think, okay, I have to use this command to do this command to do that, and it's a lot of stuff that is very relevant to redstone itself. So I figure, okay, if I'm going to explain redstone, first I'll go ahead and do a little bit of basic coding talk so people can get a little bit more understandable explanation of the concepts before they get really into it. I know that's one thing that would have helped me out a little bit more with starting out with redstone, is understanding how the concepts are linked together. As I mentioned, I am a self-taught web coder. I learned HTML first and I taught myself PHP, so I'll probably use PHP as the reference because it is a little bit more complex. Not so much so that it won't be understandable though, so don't worry about that. And then after I go through just the basics, you don't have to go into too much detail, then I'll start talking about the actual circuits I use. One of the most requested ones has been for the circuit I use in Streets of Severin. And that one took a lot of time to come up with, and I was a little bit hesitant of showing it in the past because I thought, if someone sees this, then they might be able to figure out how the actual maze itself works. And if they do that, then they might be able to cheat it. Looking back on that now, it's kind of stupid that I thought like that, because even if you see this circuit and understand it completely, it's not going to help you any, because it's all down to... I don't like to say it's down to luck. It's not really down to luck. It's just down to the circumstances that you're in. As I mentioned in the maze itself, Shri means life, Severin means death, and the whole concept of the maze that led up to the redstone of it anyway is that your actions during your life have impacts at later moments in your life, and the actions of other people can impact it as well. So with the maze, the path that you choose, the path that others choose, they all come together to make things more difficult for you. And this might actually be... No, it's not around when I had all those creeper holes in the ground. In some ways it's kind of fun to watch this at 400% speed, but I don't know how it's going to turn out when it's finally done. And when I'm recording this audio while watching it, it's not the best frame rate. I think that with how old this version of Camtasia, whatever the hell it is, I think this version's age is catching up with it a bit. And this is not a weak computer. This laptop is built for gaming. It's an Asus... Oh, jeez, I can't remember what the model number is now, but it's listed as a desktop replacement gaming computer. That should tell you a little bit about how much power is in this thing, and for it to be having this much of a frame drop, it's got to be software related, because the hardware on this thing kicks ass. And lots of zombie kills. I don't really enjoy that mob update that makes it so a zombie that is so far away that you can barely even see it can suddenly track you. And I'll be working on something, there's no zombies around, so okay, I can go ahead and work uninterrupted. All of a sudden, zombie out of nowhere, I'm like, what the hell? It adds challenge, which... Challenge is fun, but when it's ridiculous, as this gets with how many mobs spawn at night, it kind of takes away from some of the fun for me personally. I don't know about anyone else. And there we go. Punching logs. There's one thing that, if you're starting out on a server, that for the first time, something I really recommend for people to do take the time to get one sapling of any tree you like. If you want more than one type of tree to make a farm with, grab one of each. Get, I'd say, at least 6 seeds from grass, and then the stone tool set, because wood tool set is bad, but all that before you go out and try to find your place. It'll make things a lot easier on you. And all you need is a single sapling, let it grow up, or use bone meal to force it to grow up faster, and you're going to be getting more saplings pretty quickly. I'm sure people know this by now, but I need something to say here. It's kind of interesting to watch how quickly your tree farm will expand over time. And it starts out like, oh, this is so slow. You get 1 tree, then you get 2 or 3. Suddenly you're going from 10 to 50 to 80 to more, and it just goes crazy. Now, it's kind of hard for me to describe what it is about building and talking. I know that other people also have expressed difficulty in doing both. I think it's more to do with the fact that I've always been a very hands-on person and never been very much of a talker ever in my life, really. And, you know, it's already difficult for me to talk when I'm just going around doing things because my brain wants to do different things than talking, you know. I hate that. But when it comes to building, and there's a whistle. Building, it's a little bit more difficult because instead of just, okay, hit this, hit that, hit this, hit that, you're thinking, okay, how does this look? And you're doing that for every single block you place, and then it builds and builds and builds over time. And I sure paused a lot. I don't know what's going on with some of these pauses. I think I might be checking my reference pictures or something. A lot of the shapes I do, I build out in Paint first, and that TT test type, because I thought it was lag based, but I forgot that there were solid blocks up there. But a lot of the shapes I do, I plan out with Paint first because it's very easy to create a pixel picture in there. Put in the shapes you want, merge shapes together to get the shape you want, delete the extra stuff, count how many pixels there are, and you can build it in Minecraft very easily. Okay, and we're back. I hope that was semi-entertaining. Probably not the most entertaining thing in the world, but oh well. So with the... I'm saying so a lot, aren't I? With the actual structure in the game, it looks like a sphere of stone inside of the branches of a tree, but once you actually are inside of it at one point, you see that it's not solid. It has a whole bunch of little rooms, I guess you'd say, that are built onto the branches of the tree, and that's lends itself pretty easily to making a little mob village in there, but mob village, an NPC village in there. And somewhere over that way, there is a very small NPC village that I can go grab the villagers from. Ooh, excuse me. That's going to take a little bit of time to work on. And once I do have this finished, I'm going to set my eyes on the ocean floor. When I first started out in Minecraft, a lot of the things I did were underwater bases because I don't remember if I just finished or had read it a year or two ago, but the book Sphere by Michael Crichton has been a big influence on that for me, and I've always thought underwater bases would be kind of cool to have. Let's go ahead and take all this, because this will be useful later. Don't know what it will be useful for, but it will be useful eventually. So, yeah. I kind of lied to everyone on Zero. I said I was going to be working on the Nether rail stuff this week. So far this week I haven't done shit on it, and feel kind of bad about that because I did really want to get working on it, but every time I logged on this week, something just didn't feel right about. It just didn't feel like I should be on at that time or whatever. I don't know what it is. I just get in weird moods like that. But I will be working on that, and I'll make sure I do a time lapse of that. I'm also going to be recording the instructions for the other ops so that they can go ahead and work on that if they want to add their own hubs, because quite honestly I don't want to be wielding everyone's hubs. I'm going to have to do with some people because it is an op-only building area. Both glad and kind of a shame type deal there. I'm going to be expanding that. I'm going to need to expand that in order to work on anything else because that's where I'm getting all my resources. And I'm also going to be expanding down into the storage so I can move my enchanting station over there, which means I wasted all that wood on the shelves as they are right now because I don't have silk touch at all, but oh well. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for today, and hope you guys enjoyed however long this ends up being. Bye!